You really need to assess how you're living your life currently, the decisions you're making, whether it's like the people you're hanging out with or what you do with your time. What is it that is either pushing you forward or holding you back? I honestly wish I knew this way sooner. This is how to start living the life you truly want. This is episode 3 of the Under Renovation podcast, where I share my stories and experiences in hopes that you can learn something from it, and also so that I can grow, learn from it, and move forward. How to start living the life you want. That's all we want, right? We all envision, this is who I want to be. This is what I want to achieve in life. Yet we find it so difficult to take steps towards that because sometimes the goals we set are so large that they can feel unattainable. Now, something I realized really put into perspective this year was that you have to stop making these big, extravagant goals. And, people will make Pinterest boards and they'll be like, I want this mansion and I want to be rich and I want to have my own business and I want to X, Y, and Z. And they want the end result, right? But people don't think about everything and all the steps that have to come before you can get there. And that kind of leads me to my first point, is that baby steps are still steps. And these baby steps are a part of the journey that you are on. And it requires you to take these baby steps, showing up for yourself every single day to take one step forward towards that goal. Cliche, it's about the journey, not the destination, which it is. You really have to take in everything that you're working towards. So first point, baby steps are still steps. This took me a really long time to realize because I often believed that where I want to go, how can I take a shortcut? How can I get there faster? And then I realized no, you need to do this the right way. You need to make progress, show up for yourself every day. Stop trying to get a shortcut. Stop trying to get there faster. Enjoy the journey. You will get there, but you just consistently need to keep showing up for yourself every single day. And when you show up for yourself every single day, those habits that you're trying to build get easier and easier. In terms of my dream life, I have really big goals and aspirations, and it requires me to, be able to be firing on all cylinders. So having a good sleep schedule, proper nutrition, water consumption, social life, and also body movement. So those 5 areas are really important for me to function and show up for myself every single day. When I initially started trying to work towards my dream life, I was building a routine, just trying to focus on my sleep schedule and getting up at 5 a.m. and then going to bed at 8:30 and just kind of trying to get into that. I honestly wasn't even at the beginning doing anything in the morning, anything at all. And then as I was able to be okay, I'm confidently able to get up at this time, I did something called habit stacking, which habit stacking is a term from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. He explains that once you have one thing solidified and down pat, you can add something onto it. I went from just waking up to be up to get used to that sleep schedule. Then I added in the reading, and then I added in Mandarin, and then I added in guitar. And now my next thing that I'm looking to add in is to maybe go on a walk in the morning instead of going in the afternoon, just to get it out of the way. But that took time and all the baby steps that led up to it. I could not have done what I am doing now from day one. And I think people often lose sight of that. They just kind of want to go jump full-fledged into it. And I think that's oftentimes when people burn themselves out. But all these baby steps are really important. And then when you create this routine, personally, I really enjoy my routine and everything that I do. So I'm able to stay grounded in it and know exactly what I have to get done in the morning and in the evening. So I don't even have to think about it. And I feel that not having to think, it's the best thing ever. You just know what you have to do. And that's how my routines have helped. And those baby steps are what have gotten me to where I am. Just taking one day at a time and knowing, I can add in, I can habit stack as I go. And that's totally okay because it's about the process, it's about the journey. You don't have to, January 1st doesn't roll around and then all of a sudden you have to have it all figured out. You can take your time and figure out what works for you and go from there. This next point is Decisions can either walk you forward or backwards. This one is very, very important in terms of how to start living the life you want. If you envision, you're like, I want to have my own company. I want to be a content creator. I want to do X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. You really need to assess how you're living your life currently, the decisions you're making, whether it's like the people you're hanging out with or what you do with your time. What is it that is either pushing you forward or holding you back? This one, I will say, is really, really hard because I think in terms of social, like the social aspect of having friends, I had to make decisions of letting certain people go in my life because they were holding me back and they weren't good for me. They were making me make bad decisions. I don't know if it's like bad decisions, but it just was like some of the people that I was deciding to hang out with did not have the same values as me. We just didn't have, we weren't aligned on how we wanted to spend our time. I don't think for a very long time I really saw how something like regular things could hold you back in life, whether it's people or decisions on how to use your time. There's some very common things that I didn't really ever notice before, things that were holding me back just in terms of how I was spending my time. Just to give you a point of one of it, one of them is that I really don't watch TV anymore, or I used to play a lot of video games. I gave that up entirely because it was actually consuming my life. It was actually consuming my time. And because I was giving my time to those areas, it was greatly holding me back. I had to make decisions to sacrifice certain things in my life so that I could make time for things that were more important. And sometimes some of those sacrifices are bigger than others. I think sometimes when you have to sacrifice people in your life, that is harder than maybe sacrificing video games or TV. If you have a vision of what you want for your life, it is your life. You need to live it for you. And I think for so long I was living my life for other people and trying to please other people as an ex-people pleaser. I think I still try to generally please people and just be a good person, but I don't live my life for other people now. I live to fulfill my life's purpose, and that is in hindsight to help people, but in a different way. Another aspect of decisions can either walk you forward or backward. To give you a very recent example of something I experienced was that I recently went on vacation. I went to Montreal for Osheaga. And before that, I was in such a rhythm. I was in my element. I was boom, asleep by 8:30, up at 5, having breakfast with my coffee, Mandarin, reading, guitar, and then basically then going to work or starting my day, whatever I was doing. The momentum was really good and I was in the zone. And then obviously going to Osheaga, you're going to go to bed pretty late. My eating was off because, I wasn't eating what I regularly eat in a day. That threw me off. And keep in mind, I don't drink. So I wasn't drinking at this because I don't. And when I got back from Osheaga and got back here, I felt so exhausted and my body felt so run down. I definitely wasn't drinking enough water, which is one thing, which you need water. I definitely wasn't getting enough sleep. I was having the time of my life though. I was with my best friend having the best time. So I do think that there are times where you can let loose a little, but this is why it's so important to have grounded habits and routines so that you can get back to it. But my recovery time, that sounds so silly. My body had to recover. Yes, no, it genuinely did. I am finally now, I got back on Tuesday. Yeah. And today's Sunday, the 9th, August 9th. So I got back on the 3rd or 4th. Yeah, 4th. It has taken my body this long to get back into the routine of the proper sleep schedule and having that energy back that I normally have. And I think that that's so crazy. Just how much our functionality relies on water consumption, body movement, your sleep schedule, all of those aspects all come into play for you to be able to show up for yourself every single day. So, my decisions, I probably could have eaten a bit better when I was out, but I was oh, I'm on vacation. But that was a decision I made, right? I could have I could have made sure I was drinking more water, but I wasn't making those decisions. And so what I'm trying to get at here is that because I got off balance of my routine because I went on vacation, which is okay, I had to my body had to recover, which is like time not spent towards moving me forward, but rather having to catch up because my body was like run down. And I honestly think about in general for people, but I'm like, oh my God, how was I doing this every single weekend where like in university, like my undergrad, I'd be like going out like Friday, Saturday. And like, how do people, it's genuinely takes a toll on you to mess up your entire sleep schedule. And I just remember I used to stay up playing video games so late. I used to just like not prioritize these things when I should have been prioritizing them. Like you need to focus on all these aspects of your life to create the life you want. Jim Rohn said this quote. He said, "Don't sacrifice your progress for a piece of cake." That really resonated with me because like oftentimes that quote definitely helped me with like self-control around sweet treats because I'm definitely like, I love sweet treats. Like you put a sweet treat in front of me, I'm gonna want it. It has genuinely helped me resist from gorging or eating in front of the TV. That's like one habit that like I'm really trying to bad habit that I'm trying to break. I feel like I'm always like, you always like if you were watching something, you like feel the need to like eat something, but I'm trying to like break those bad decisions, but everything's decisions. So the decision to stop watching TV really just like helped me not have to worry about that bad habit. But yeah, back to like the whole you spend your weekend going out, it genuinely affects your productivity. I don't drink, but I have in the past, in my undergrad. And that feeling when you would drink on a night out and then you're hungover the next day, so much time just genuinely wasted when you could be working towards chasing your dreams or achieving your goals of whatever that is and whatever that looks like for you. If you're running yourself into the ground, you're never going to be able to show up for yourself. And so that's where sacrifice comes in, and you have to sometimes give up things that might seem fun and lucrative, but at the end of the day, if that's going to hold you back, you're never going to get your biggest dream because you took instant gratification instead of delayed gratification. Just to end this off with how to start living the life you want, people need to know that opportunities won't just land in your lap. You need to put in the work at zero to get to where you want to be. I think sometimes people might think, oh, the opportunity will just present itself, or it will just happen for me one day, or maybe next year, maybe next month, not right now. But really, there is no better time than now, and you're never going to be younger than you are right now in this moment. You just need to start chasing your dreams and going after the life you want because no one's going to do the work for you. And if you don't want to put effort and invest in yourself, then why should anyone else? You have the power to change your life, but you need to show up because nothing is going to happen if you don't show up for yourself. And when you say another day, another slate. No, sorry. If you say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'm too busy, I can't do it right now, I got a lot on my plate, there will never, ever be a perfect time when all the stars align. You just have to go for it. Take a chance on yourself. With confidence, I think you'd be very surprised at just how much you can truly accomplish. So take a chance on yourself. I know it might seem scary starting something new that you've never done before, but it is so fun to learn. It is so fun to navigate a new domain and to learn something new. You just need to start showing up for yourself. Take those baby steps, the smallest of baby steps, because you have no idea at just how much those baby steps will compound into something huge. And suddenly those baby steps have turned into a marathon. And you're like, whoa, how did this happen? Because you showed up. Because you showed up. Now, if you've watched this whole video and then you haven't been shook to your core, come on, shook to your core, genuinely being like, oh, okay, so I'm the only one who can make this change. I need to be doing it. It's not gonna land in my lap. I need to show up for myself and show that I am worthy and that I am capable to do great things. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you have a sense of clarity on maybe how to start or why you should start. Thanks so much, and we'll chat soon. Love you. Bye.